What's up, Internet? Welcome to Once Over. I'm Kaylee, and today we're giving the once over to Bad Johnson. There will be spoilers.
Give it a good once over.
Giving us the once over.
Giving him the once over.
Give me a once over.
Down to give us the once over.
For a routine once over.
Once over.
Oh, just once over lightly.
What have I done? Why, this is, good God. Bad Johnson, which came out in 2014, is a high-concept comedy that attempts heroically and also stupidly to explore themes of male immaturity, responsibility, and relationships through the most deranged premise imaginable. What if a man's penis literally left his body and became a full-grown human man? The main character of the story is Rich Johnson, played by Cam Gigandet. I can't say names, we all know that. Johnson is a gym bro Adonis and a hopeless womanizer who wishes out loud that his most prized organ would just leave him alone because, you know, it keeps sabotaging his relationships. Not his brain, but his penis. You'd think that he would just learn to stop cheating, but no. We're doing magical realism, baby! Before we can go any deeper into this unholy phallic odyssey, we need to talk about the director, Huck Botko. Yes, the actual Huck Botko. If that name sounds familiar to you, then you probably spent a little too much time on the internet, especially the weird parts in the 90s. Huck made a cursed little film series called Cooking with Huck Botko, where he prepared treats for his family members that he absolutely hated.
Hi, for Christmas this year, I'm making my father a fruitcake. I don't like my father.
The inaugural short, Fruitcake. This featured Huck making a Christmas fruitcake for his dad. He also using the spit from strangers as an ingredient. Delicious. Huck filmed this series by doing things like introducing us to what he was going to be cooking and who he was going to be cooking it for and why he hated that person. We would then get to see him actually making it. So yes, you got to watch strangers spitting in this fruitcake.
We heard an awful lot about you up in the North Pole, and shame, shame, shame. Everyone knows your name, you son of a gun, you. Two.
All right.
And then we got to watch his dad scarfing down the yummies. These weren't your average gross out videos, they were revenge art disguised as baking tutorials. Next up, he created Baked Alaska, which featured baked Alaska, maggots, roadkill, and his own issues with his mother's abandonment.
Smells delicious.
Yum. And then things got really nasty when Huck made a cheesecake filled with disease-infected blood.
Oh, there it comes.
And of course, a graham cracker cream pie made it with, the cream of adult actors. And yes, you did get to see the making of the cream pie.
Merry Christmas, Jimmy.
So why do I bring this up? We're not talking about Cooking with Huck, we're talking about Bad Johnson, Kaylee. Well, these were deeply disturbing shorts that were weirdly effective. They felt raw and real, revengey and artistic, a kind of punk rock satire of family dysfunction. They were both disgusting and brilliant, and they made you feel something. And if you, like me, want to feel things when you are watching movies, especially things like horror, nausea, unshakable moral unease, then this was the series for you. These shorts primed Huck to do something wild in his feature film debut with Bad Johnson. Actually, I don't even know if this is his debut, but regardless, he should have been making really great feature films with a history like this, or at least really weird feature films. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I saw this movie called Bad Johnson, with the premise that it had, and the fact that it was directed by the Huck Botko, I was really excited. The concept of a guy losing his dick to cure his cheating? Genius. That's peak dumbass cinema, and I love it. It gave me the use the eyeballs feeling. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. I know it is really hard to come by, but it is one of my personal favorites, and the premise of that movie is that this nerd, every time that he gets aroused, his eyeballs pop out of his nose and like float around like this, and I swoon for this type of nonsense. This is what my life is made of. Now throw in Cam Gigandet, who is basically just Paul Walker knockoff, and Nick Thune, who is Dave from Dave Made a Maze, and I am fully on board. This is a ridiculous premise with a relatively straightforward comedic lens. So gimme, gimme, gimme. All right, that's probably the last nice thing that I will say about this one, so let's actually get into it. We open with Rich cheating on his girlfriend with her sister.
Not what it looks like, babe.
You're fucking my sister?
Romantic comedy, baby! But surprise, this time he actually liked the girl.
I mean, we even hated the same people.
Too bad his dick, the saboteur of all good things, is running the show.
This is the third relationship you've ruined in the last year.
My dick. The third relationship my dick has ruined.
Honestly, iconic line. Sad about the loss of this girl that he actually liked, Rich tries to hit on a woman that he's already slept with like a dumbass. She ends up kicking him in the nuts and boom, we are in the hospital. Now I just want to set the scene here for you because this is how I was introduced to this movie. I had never heard of this one before and I was scrolling around on Tubi and this was the scene that Tubi tried to use to sell me how great this movie was going to be.
Your testicles are in your stomach.
Is there anything that you can prescribe?
You should use plenty of ice, abstain from masturbation, and elevate the scrotum as often as possible.
And what about sex?
Oh, I wouldn't recommend it. Your insurance wouldn't pay for it. No sex for 6 weeks.
It's so not funny. Is it just me? Maybe it needs like music or something or talent. I don't know. I am not sure. I am not an editor. I am not an actor. I don't know these things, but it's not great. Next, we get to see our hero Rich, which is surely short for Richard Johnson, to be more specific, which is a little ham-fisted for a movie about his dick, if you ask me. We get to see him meet a woman buying a pregnancy test, and Rich tells her, in order to pick her up, about a prank that he once pulled where he switched a real pregnancy test with a fake pregnancy test in order to trick this woman into thinking that she wasn't pregnant, and the result of that was that she smoked while she was pregnant. Romantic lead energy, am I right? But hey, it works because they bond over Slurpees, I guess?
Wow, you're a Slurpee girl. You know, I thought big glasses, caramel macchiato girl.
Who says I can't do both?
Versatile, I like that.
I don't know. I don't know. Cue montage number 1 of like 30. I'm pretty sure that this movie is about 24% montages for some reason. But this one is actually kind of good as the montages in this film go because it is full of professional grade circle wipes. Circle wipes, people. Cinema. The montage shows the new happy couple blossoming their love over 6 weeks, which is the time period that Rich needs to heal from his busted junk. That means nothing is happening between these two. You know, they never actually make it clear if she's getting anything. I feel like she's not getting anything here. It's a little weird, right? He's got a mouth. Now, these two are really truly falling in love. They're very excited about each other, but then Rich gets into a fender bender with a hot woman who seduces him, I think.
Right here.
I mean, he's supposed to be the womanizer, but then the fender bender lady is like seducing him, even though the car crash was totally his fault.
Actually, I was listening to some rap music.
And then for some reason, she's rewarding him for smashing into her with sex. What? Anyway, when he finally makes it home to this love of his life girl that he's been spending 6 weeks with despite the fact that he's not getting his dick wet, he tells her,
Got in an accident.
Oh my god, are you okay?
I mean, I'm fine. I mean, it was just a fender bender and it won't happen again.
It won't happen again?
Nothing.
Again, a little ham-fisted, no? She figures out that he is lying and that he in fact cheated on her after seeing teeth marks on his junk.
Why are there teeth marks on your dick?
What?
What?
Did someone give you a blowjob?
Not that I can recall.
Not lipstick? Teeth? Was she corn cobbing it? How much time has passed since he got said blowy? Shouldn't the teeth marks have dissipated by now?
I hit that car pretty hard.
She dumps him, but also threatens to, choppy on his pee-pee.
Who actually owns a meat cleaver?
Get out!
Which, like, chill, dude. It's been 6 weeks, girl. Y'all haven't even banged and you're trying to Lorena Bobbitt his ass?
Ow!
Rich realizes that he has a habitual cheating problem, and then he finds out that he is the star of the very fake-sounding but tragically unreal website douchebagassholecheaters.com. Boy, do I wish that existed. I know there are similar things. I just want that to be the URL. Missed opportunity for a solid fake website gag. And a great spot for some comedy, right? This is when we're gonna get the funnies in the movie. Now,
Rich would be making low six figures right now if he didn't bend me over the conference table and have his way with me.
it's not funny at all. No. One of the testimonials is from Rich's ex-friend he banged his mom. And this somehow causes the friend to go into a meth spiral.
Me and Rich used to be best friends until I walked in on him fucking my mom. My parents divorced. I lost sight of my goals. Now I'm addicted to meth, and I work the 3 a.m. drive-through shift at a fast food restaurant in the ghetto.
Now I'm depressed and not at all horny. Dang it. Anyway, Rich wishes that his penis would leave him alone.
Wish my dick would just leave me alone.
I made my family disappear.
And that wish is granted. And the relationship between Rich and his penis is officially severed, but not in the Lorena Bobbitt way. He's a Ken doll. Ooh, a eunuch. After losing his member, Rich's phone rings.
I have a collect call from...
This is your dick. I'm in an alley downtown.
It's a collect call. Remember those? This is clearly attempting to be a reference to the old, Geico commercials, I want to say. First name, Bob. Last name, we had a baby, it's a boy.
Hello?
Collect call for Mr. Bob. We ought a baby. It's a boy.
Sorry, wrong number.
Who's that, dear?
Bob, they had a baby. It's a boy.
But in this movie, it's far less clever. And way less funny, since in the commercial, they change the inflection of the words, which is what makes it funny. Here, he's just like, this is your dick. I'm in an alley downtown.
This is your dick. I'm in an alley downtown.
And shouldn't it be, this is your dick. I'm in an alley downtown.
Do you have to talk like that?
I can't do it. I'm very bad at imitations of things. You guys know that if you listen to Who Are These Podcasts. I will admit, though, that this scene did get me to laugh. The penis proves that it belongs to Rich by describing how he used to be puppeted.
You've had chlamydia twice. You spray me with Curb Club before you go out for the night, and when you're bored, you helicopter me around and make my whole talk like a little mouse.
All right, it's enough.
Now, I've never had a penis, but I assume that all of you penis owners do this, all the time, right? So that isn't really proof positive, but whatever. I'm gonna suspend my disbelief, I suppose, for this silly, silly movie. Penis owners, weigh in. Enter RP.
Jesus.
AKA Rich's penis, who is played by the gloriously naked Nick Thune. But before we can move on to this now personified PP, we need to talk about the fact that RP is a really stupid name. His name should obviously be Dick.
Hi. I'm your dick.
1, he's a dick, and 2, he is a dick.
Hi, I was just calling to say that I just found your dog Rusty.
Are you serious? Thank heavens, baby! They found Rusty! They got Rusty!
I'm just fucking with you guys. I don't know where the hell your dog is.
I'm gonna call him Dick. RP is dumb.
Are you fucking retarded?
I know that I said that it was a little ham-fisted to have Rich's name be Rich, but you shut up already. Dick is actually the comic relief here that we so desperately needed. First of all, he's a dick that has a tiny dick.
And I've got my own dick, and it's not even as big as I was. Look at this.
Then we get this great jab.
At least now I can tell you how big of a fucking tool you are for still having a subscription to Maxim.
And the excellent line.
I just flexed my calf. Amazing. That's really cool.
On the other hand, Rich's only funny moment in the film is him trying to rub one out. Or, I guess, the bit about him peeing out of his butt.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the toilet seat down.
Why? You pissing out of your ass? Oh, shit. He's pissing out of his ass.
I don't know. I like the visual comedy. Give me some slapstick, baby, especially in this pee-pee movie. Why do I keep saying pee-pee instead of penis? I'm an adult. On to the meat and potatoes of this movie. Another montage. Rich tries to get his dick back through a seance by using a wishbone and a shooting star. It's so unnecessary is the word that I want to use here. You have a literal human penis. Give me something funny. And then you're never gonna believe it, but another montage. The point of this one is to show us that Dick is a ladies' man. This was probably my least favorite of the many, many montages. Is he luring Catholic schoolgirls with cigarettes and beer? Kinda skeevy, no? This isn't kids. I hate it. Again, what the heck are you doing, Huck? Come on. You can't give us the genius of cooking with Huck Botko and then give us this malarkey.
Shame, shame, shame.
Another not so shining moment in this film is when Rich tries to apologize to his ex-girlfriend. He's trying to get her back after he cheated on her with the fender bender girl, but she's already moved on. So there's this really awkward interaction where he goes up to her door to try to interrupt her, and there's also a food delivery guy there. He arrives at the same time. And this is what Rich says to him.
Chill out, Tokyo Drift.
I can say that.
I get that Rich is like a Paul Walker knockoff, but this somehow manages to be both racist and unfunny. Tough combo. But you guys, don't worry, we have to get back to my favorite part of the movie, being another montage. This one is all about how celibacy is making Rich very productive. He's got so much hard drive space. Woo, savings! Go Rich! Don't you wish you didn't have a penis? I know I get a lot done without one. So I think that we can all agree that Dick is a dick and Rich is kind of a wiener. In fact, at least one person agrees because at one point, someone, presumably Dick, writes on Rich's car, "I have no dick."
It's some tough shit.
Now I'm gonna point out here that Rich is driving a Jeep, which is a girl car. So it's kind of redundant because if you're driving a Jeep, you're a chick. You guys are with me on that, right? Jeeps are girl cars. Mazda Miata, that's also a girl car. Meanwhile, Rich falls for Lindsay, a girl that he is training at the gym that he works at. I haven't even mentioned that because it's such a meaningless plot point. What is important though is the Rich and Lindsay relationship. That's gonna be the whole third act of this film. The two of them bond largely over how hot both of them are or how desirable each of them are.
Okay, that's what we are. We're the expensive microbrewers, you know, we're that one beer that people have, don't appreciate, and then dump to go back to drinking cheap beer.
But the more that Rich falls in love, the less Dick can perform.
What happened? You went limp.
Because love kills erections, apparently. That actually might be accurate. Dick, now desperate over his shriveling powers, needs to break up the relationship between Rich and Lindsay. So he creates a fake charity.
We did just do a pants drive for the Torso Foundation.
The point of this, I think, is to woo Lindsay, but I was just honestly confused by this whole thing. I think it's like half a joke that was never funny. Either way, Dick ends up landing a date with Lindsay and stealing her away from Rich. And then he sneaks a kiss in the very creepiest way.
Who is that? Is that...
During that date, Rich shows up and Dick ends up getting Rich pantsed in front of Lindsay.
Oh, shit! Oh my God! That guy had no dick!
So now Lindsay knows Rich's secret, which I guess makes her like Dick for some reason. Absence makes the heart grow fonder? Is that the point of that scene? Oh my God, that's so stupid. Either way, it works because Dick takes Lindsay on a wedding date and Rich and his bud crash the wedding. Insert amazing reference to Wedding Crashers here.
Proper girl in the hedges, I fucked the shit out of me.
Do not quote Wedding Crashers.
We're crashing a wedding.
Oh wait, they actually made a reference to Wedding Crashers.
Why can't I quote Wedding Crashers? Because it's played out.
What's next, a Waterworld reference?
It does look like shit.
Come on.
And it feels like cold shit.
Now inside the wedding, Rich tries to get Lindsay's attention by asking a waiter to pass her a note.
Excuse me, but do I look like a fucking messenger?
First of all, this scene is incredibly not needed. Second of all, this waiter is insane, right?
Oh, that is so fucking original, really.
And third of all, why are those prop glasses so obviously glued to that plate?
I really don't want to be a part of that.
The wedding comes to a head when Dick, Rich, and Lindsay all get into a confrontation together and Dick absconds with Lindsay.
And I think it's hard to fall for someone if you're falling off a building.
Is Dick planning to throw her over a building? Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it now? Maybe... What? I don't understand the plot or the humor of this film whatsoever. Luckily, Lindsay has some spunk and she kicks Dick right in the dick.
Oh!
Full circle. Look at that. Right back to the beginning of the movie. Meta.
Woo! That was so fucking meta.
So fucking meta. She's kicking a dick that is a dick in the dick. Hilarious. Yeah. Then a fist fight ensues. It is Dick versus Rich. It is penis versus wiener. None of the words that I'm saying in this make any sense, do they? This is a really weird movie, y'all. Rich pops some erectile dysfunction pills in order to take down his dysfunctional dick. Literally.
Bitch slap, bitch slap, bitch slap, bitch slap, pimp, pimp, pimp.
Just as Dick is about to throw Lindsay off the building for some reason that I still don't fully understand, the pills kick in and Dick, he gets stiff, collapses, and is carted off in an ambulance. I knew boners were bad. The end. Rich gets his penis back.
Oh my God!
What? Oh, yes!
And then immediately checks out other girls.
Really?
Sorry.
But he does promise to be good. So what do I think about this movie? I think it's probably obvious. I was not a fan of this, even though I went in with relatively high expectations. The idea of a physical manifestation of a penis coming to life and then getting into a fight with the man who originally owned it, that's funny. I like it. It's crude. You gotta return to human form. You gotta control your urges. All of the things, the sentiment is great, but it is so poorly executed. The movie is poorly directed. It's not funny. The writing is horrible. The editing is horrible. There is this level of immaturity in the filmmaking that is so insane to me. Again, because I think that Huck Botko really truly did do incredible things and has the chops to make an awesome movie. This just wasn't it. There are little flashes of insight, but overall this one is just a pile of crude jokes that aren't even funny. If it was funny, I would have loved it. I love stupid, immature male humor. It is a great premise, and I think that Nick Thune was wonderful in it. He was absolutely the comic relief. He did great in this film. Every time that he was on the screen, I was enjoying myself. But overall, this movie was awful. And when I say awful, I mean this might be worse than One Too Many. That is how bad this movie was. There's no growth, there's no interest, there's no excitement, there's no comedy. Why can't we have both interesting satire and a penis running around? It's too much to ask, isn't it? I guess with all of that being said, I do need to rate this out of 7 thumbs up, and it's hard for me to give this any thumbs up. I think I'm gonna give it 2 out of 7 thumbs up for premise and for Nick Thune's performance. Not sexual performance, but his performance as a PP, as I've been saying this whole video. I don't know. He did great. Again, I liked his performance a lot. Cam Gigandet, he was fine too. It was fine. It's fine. I'm never watching this movie ever again though. It is up on Tubi if you want to go watch it and see what I have seen. But I would much more highly recommend going and watching those original Cooking with Huck Botko videos. I think that you can probably find them on YouTube, maybe with some of the sexual content unavailable, but those are really great. So I think that this movie was a perfect excuse for us to have a little chit chat about those. Definitely some weird early internet stuff. Or, I didn't even say this before, I think they used to be called dessert-umentaries, which is funny. That's funny. Anyway, I got sidetracked there at the end. I appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out with me while I talked about this wacky movie. So much fun. Yeah, Bad Johnson, 2014, what a weird year. It happened. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all soon. Bye. What's up, internet? Welcome to Once Over. I feel like there's lipstick on my teeth. There is not. Before we go any deeper into this unholy phallic odyssey, we need to talk about Huck Botko. Fucking fuck. Names suck.